a return appearance on our broadcast by the woman in her kitchen in California known by her social media name, PoliticsGirl, who just happens to know more about politics than many people working in politics.
Hello, and welcome to the PoliticsGirl podcast. I'm your host, Lee McGowan. Let's get into it. I mean, anyone that knows me will tell you I've been going on about this stuff for years. I mean, like years. This is my jam. How government works, what's going wrong, what's going right, what could be better, who could help us make it better. You know, this stuff matters. And I know, people don't think it does. It feels boring and complicated and like, why should I bother? Believe me, I've watched my friends' eyes glaze over when I start to talk about this stuff. I've been told in not so many words just to shut the fuck up when I question some statement or joke or dismissive comment somebody made in passing. People don't like to get into it. They don't want to think about it. Honestly, they don't want to have to think about it. But unfortunately, that many people not caring is what brought us to this point in American history. And I don't think it's some shocking revelation for me to say we are not in a good place. Democrats have a major messaging problem. It doesn't matter how great your ideas are if no one understands them. It doesn't matter if you do great stuff if no one knows you're doing it. It doesn't even matter if people agree with you if they don't come out and vote when you need them to. One side of our country is talking about stolen elections, an armed Christian uprising, burning books, and monitoring women's bodies. And the other just passed a bill to give you clean water and broadband. You're basically, for political nerds like me, you're essentially my Ryan Reynolds. So I'm like really freaking out, you know?
Joining us now to discuss this, Lee McGowan, host of the PoliticsGirl podcast.
We need to be really clear. No one is forcing anyone to get a vaccine. There just might be consequences if you choose not to get one. She can choose to not follow those rules, but then Disney Marvel can choose to replace her.
Real America is done with COVID. That's what Congressman Jim Jordan said. We were supposed to be on our way to freedom from the virus this summer. The vaccination numbers said we would be. So what happened? The Republicans happened. Fox News happened. The other propaganda networks happened. And Red, not Real America, happened. But that's the point, right? If you can't win votes on ideas, you suppress votes through laws and gerrymandering. If you can't inspire people to come together, you drive them apart. If you can't stop your opponents from helping the people, then you must stop the people from helping themselves. Red America is done with COVID, but COVID is not done with them. This week's episode is a candid conversation with American strategist Steve Schmidt, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, California Congressman Adam Schiff, author and lawyer Terry Canfield, Alexander and Rachel Vindman, the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you. It's great to be with you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
What you do is assert conviction, and people respond to it. It's a conviction about the country that the overwhelming silent majority agrees with.
It doesn't matter if you've never been a Democrat or even a voter in your life. You've got to do it now. If we can save this thing, then there's going to be plenty of time to disagree later on a hospitable planet with a functioning government that's not in the middle of a religious war. Now is just not the time. We have to unite against whatever the Republican Party or what used to be the Republican Party is doing, because it's real and it's dangerous and it will not end well. And you can continue to pretend it's not happening, or you can decide what team you're on. Personally, I'm on Team Democracy. And I think we can do a fuck lot better than this.
PoliticsGirl to take us off the air tonight.